Okay, my name is Joanna Fargo, and this is
Lauren Cole.
okay. And so I just want you guys to know that it's important to remember the 1973 historic Supreme Court case, Roe versus Wade, that legalized abortion in the U.S. Since that decision, the black population has decreased by 25%, and we believe that no child is an unwanted child. We believe that the only exception to this rule would be when the mother's health is at risk.
Hello, my name is Natasha Evans, and this is Jordan Motley, and I'm speaking on the behalf of the affirmative. And I believe that abortion should be legal because it is a basic human right, and the pro-choice movement is to promote women's rights rather than invoke a false sense of morality.
Yes, I believe that women should be able to make the choice on their bodies, but they don't have the right to make a choice on another person's body. Okay, so to kind of like reach a compromise on the subject, me and my colleague agreed that we will allow for the morning after pill, and we will allow for birth control.
Do you believe that personhood starts with conception?
Personhood? Could you define personhood?
Personhood as in life.
I don't believe it starts. It starts at conception. Yes.
Why do you believe that?
Well, like I said to him before, when an egg meets a sperm and a baby is formed, then that is a person.
Are they able to make decisions?
No.
Okay.
Does that mean they're not a person?
They're just the organism.
They're just an organism. And then what does that organism become later on?
It does become life later on, but it's not able to make any decisions, nor is it formed. So I don't feel that.
Okay, so because a helpless organism is not able to make its own decisions, they should get killed. Cells form to create tissues, tissues form to create organs. So if you take away that chance for that process to start, it's still murder. Because that, like I said before, that organism was on a developmental trajectory to become a living life. And you stopped it from having that because it's an organism helpless of making that choice itself.
So aborting a cell is considered murder. Okay, so do you have a rebuttal?
No.
Okay. So let's move on to the next question then. So the next question is for the affirmative. When does life begin? And when do you think life begins?
Second trimester.
Yeah.
When the baby forms a heart or a brain, and it's past that.
It even happens. I don't see how they can form an argument if they don't even know what part of, sorry.
Yeah, I feel like it's a woman's decision what she wants to do with her body.
Though it's risky, I feel if a woman wants to go through that and she knows the risk, that she should be able to. No, I don't believe that. Only because I feel that the baby is not able to make its own decisions. It's not developed. It can't speak to you. It can't tell you I don't want to be here. It can't tell you anything.
Can I give you an example and you tell me what you think about it?
Sure.
Okay, so let's say that a child has autism. They were unable to speak for themselves, unable to make decisions for themselves, some or more than autism. What if they were like completely paralyzed and disabled? They can't do anything for themselves. Would you kill them?
No.
So can you tell me what you think makes that person different than a fetus?
Because I feel that that child is already out. You aren't able to do anything. You aren't able to kill a child that's already here. With it being a child that's still inside of the mother's belly, you're able to, if you feel like you're not ready for a baby, you should be able to get rid of it.
So why not adoption? If you don't want the child right then and there, you can still carry them to full term, but place them for adoption.
Adoption is something that I don't believe in, for the simple fact that there are a lot of children in the system that are being abused, that are being murdered. There's been a total of 1,600 children that have died in the system yearly.
Yes, so like I said in the opening statement, the only exception to abortion would be when the mother's life is in more jeopardy. Because in our opinion, you don't kill someone for someone else to live.
So what if a woman gets raped and she's pregnant? Should she keep it?
I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why I believe that she should keep it, and I don't mean to sound insensitive to anybody.
Would you support her getting an abortion because she was raped?
No.
You wouldn't support it?
No,
What if she was raped by her father?
no.
You still not support it?
Because if you ask anybody that's alive right now
Yeah.
that was conceived through rape, how do you think that person would feel if you told them that you shouldn't have been born because you were a product of rape or a product of incest? Abortions protect the perpetrator.
The sperm.
Okay,
You have
but
3 days.
so it kills the sperm, but it's not killing the egg, which is where the baby is.
Okay, but that's still a cell.
Instead of placing the child for adoption with couples that are willing to love and care for a human being, you should carry it to full term and place them for adoption. Most families are willing to pay for all of your medical expenses. There are approximately 1 to 2 million couples that are waiting to adopt a child each year, and in 2018, there were about 876,000 abortions that occurred, which means that 876,000 innocent babies were killed due to a mother's selfishness. Instead of placing the child for adoption with couples that are willing to love and care for a human being. That kind of all ties into, I think, one of the first steps to decrease the abortion rate and increase children who are getting adopted. You should overturn the Roe versus Wade case.